Hi everyone, in this lesson we are going to learn how to talk about how we like one thing more than another thing. As always, we will begin with a model dialogue, and in this dialogue the two people are talking about which food they like more. After the dialogue, we will explain all the expressions in detail. Do you prefer Spanish food or Italian food? I prefer Italian food. What about you? I prefer Spanish food to Italian food. Okay, first to ask if the other person likes one kind of food more than the other, we can ask, do you prefer Spanish food or Italian food? Do you prefer Spanish food or Italian food? The verb prefer means to like something more. So to ask which of the two choices the other person likes more, we use the structure do you prefer A or B? And in this question, A and B are Spanish food and Italian food. Here are a few more example questions. Do you prefer Thai food or Vietnamese food? Do you prefer Korean food or Japanese food? Do you prefer Indian food or Mexican food? Okay, so let's practice asking these questions. Do you prefer Spanish food or Italian food? Do you prefer Thai food or Vietnamese food? Do you prefer Korean food or Japanese food? Do you prefer Indian food or Mexican food? That was great, well done. Now to answer and say I like one thing more, we can say I prefer Italian food. I prefer Italian food. So to simply say I like one thing more, we can say I prefer and the thing we like more. It's that simple. Here are a few more example sentences. I prefer Vietnamese food. When you say Vietnamese, the stress is on me. So it's Vietnamese, Vietnamese. Listen to the sentence again. I prefer Vietnamese food. I prefer Japanese food. I prefer Mexican food. Okay, so let's practice these sentences. I prefer Italian food. I prefer Vietnamese food. I prefer Japanese food. I prefer Mexican food. That was great, well done. Now, so far in this course, when we want to return the same question, we learn to use how about you? However, another way we can return the same question is by using what about you? In some situations, the meaning of how about you and what about you can be different. However, when we want to just return the same question back to the other person, we can use either question. So let's practice asking this question, what about you? Repeat after me. What about you? What about you? That was great, well done. Now, if we want to be more specific and say, I like one thing more than the other thing, we can say, I prefer Spanish food to Italian food. I prefer Spanish food to Italian food. When we use the verb prefer to say, I like A more than B, we say, I prefer A to B. And this means that in this sentence, the speaker likes Spanish food more than Italian food. The key word which many people get wrong is to. So do make sure to say, I prefer A to B. Here are a few more example sentences. I prefer Thai food to Vietnamese food. Now, as you can hear, to is a weak sound, so it's not pronounced strongly. I prefer Thai food to Vietnamese food. I prefer Thai food to Vietnamese food. So listen carefully to the next two examples and think about how to is a weak sound and it's not pronounced strongly. I prefer Korean food to Japanese food. I prefer Indian food to Mexican food. So in the first sentence, the speaker likes Thai food more than Vietnamese food. In the second sentence, the speaker likes Korean food more than Japanese food. And in the last sentence, the speaker likes Indian food more than Mexican food. Okay, so let's practice these sentences. I prefer Spanish food to Italian food. I prefer Thai food to Vietnamese food. I prefer Korean food to Japanese food. I prefer Indian food to Mexican food. Excellent job, well done. Now, before we do the final practice, let's listen to the whole dialogue again. Do you prefer Spanish food or Italian food? I prefer Italian food. What about you? I prefer Spanish food to Italian food. Let's now do a speaking practice of this dialogue. We will do 2 speaking practices so that you can practice both roles. All the lines will be on the screen, so when it's your turn, please read the line and participate in the dialogue. Do you prefer Spanish food or Italian food? I prefer Spanish food to Italian food. I prefer Italian food. What about you? Fantastic effort today. Well done. Okay, so in this lesson, we learn how to say we like one thing more than another thing using the verb prefer. The next lesson is, as always, the speaking drill lesson, so make sure to take that lesson for more speaking practice. See you soon again. Bye-bye.